Jamie here from the Center for Aligned Living. Happy day to you. It's Tuesday here in Southern California, and it is a new moon today and also a solar eclipse, so it's a pretty energetically exciting day. I love the new moon because it starts a new cycle, and it's always a good time to set intentions or just let the energy just flow and see where it takes you, but just allow and open yourself up to it. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about today is there's so much judgment that it's just rampant in the world today. We're all guilty of it. And I think that we all need to just remember that we're all here for different reasons. The details, we're here for growth and to return to our authentic selves and to trust our inner guidance. But the scenarios for everyone are different. Your life experiences are different. They're different. And once they become different, okay, then it changes the way you look at things. So once I've had a particular experience, it like changes, or it potentially changes the way I view people, the world, my emotional responses, etc. And it's the same for everybody else. So based on all of my past experiences and how I've responded and reacted and stored them, I'm going to have certain reactions or preconceived notions, right, of things or events. Okay, so it's like wearing a prescription. That's now my prescription. That's how I see the world. You can change it, absolutely, but until you make an effort and bring it to awareness, you're going to keep that prescription, okay? So I have mine and you have yours. Everybody has their own unique, individual prescription, okay? Just think of it that way, really easy. But we're talking about judgment. So we may be looking through our lens, our prescription, and we may see a certain situation, and we may be like, "What? Why'd they do that?" Or we're judging. It's good, bad, right, wrong, and that's not up to us to decide. That's up to that individual who's making that choice to decide. And if we can, in turn, instead of judging right, wrong, good, bad, if we could just step back and be neutral and consider that person is making the right choice for them, potentially, unless, of course, they're harming themselves or someone else, and then feel free to step in and give gentle guidance, especially if you're dealing with a child or something. They need us. They need our guidance because they're so full of information that is harmful. And they're not seeing the ramifications, the consequences of harmful behavior, okay? Not that they're not being disciplined. It's just that perhaps where people are seeing this, children are seeing these things, they're not getting the whole picture, right? It's completely taken out of context. You're seeing bad behavior, no ramifications. Everybody thinks it's funny. Blah. Anyway, let's go back to our role and being less judgmental on other people. So if we can just, for a moment, be neutral and realize that person is looking at the world through their particular prescription, okay, then we are looking through the lens of compassion, okay? And that is a really healthy place to be rather than from judgment, okay? That is a really, really huge step in just healing ourselves, our relationships, and our world, is just understanding that person has an entire different set of experiences and reactions and whatnot. Just fill in the blank. They're not you, okay? Completely different, and they're seeing things differently, and they're responding differently. So, offer guidance, absolutely, if it's necessary, or if it can be beneficial, or if, harm is being done. But otherwise, we just need to just stay within ourselves Be neutral when we're looking at everyone else. And then when it comes to us, when we're being reactive, how do we go? Remember we talked about this, I think it was just last week. How do we go from being um, an emotional reaction to a conscious response? Well, it's through neutrality. It's through non-judgment of ourselves and the situation. It's not right, wrong, good, or bad. We determine in a scenario, okay, what works for us. And then we have a responsibility to do what is right for us, okay? As long as it's not hurting yourself or anyone else. And maybe you don't have all the information, or maybe your lens is skewed. And, maybe you've got a past trauma or a limiting belief that you're looking through. And you may not even you may be completely taking something the wrong way. I had this come up recently myself. In relationships, you have to compromise. There's a lot of dialogue. You have to communicate. And in communication, things can get misunderstood. Okay? Well, someone says something to me, it goes through my filter, and I have an emotional reaction because it's a trigger for me, okay? So whatever happened, I've got this trigger. So it's like, I have this emotional reaction, so I snap, okay? Because I don't know, I got a limiting belief or who knows what going on there, right? At that moment, I don't know, I just am responding because it's like, it's like this little, it's not aligned, I'll tell you that much. It's reactive. And if you're in an aligned state, you are not reactive. You are, you're calm, you're peaceful, your inner guidance is telling you what's going on. So I had the situation, and I was reactive, okay? So I had to step back, and I had to, that Corinthians verse about love is patient, love is kind? I think it needs to be added that love seeks understanding. And that's what love to me is seeking understanding in any given situation. And maybe you don't get there, but at least, making an effort to do so is a step in the right direction. But if we could be less judgmental on ourselves and others, we would move in a healthy direction away from emotional reactions to conscious responses. Okay, there's a huge difference there. It would really help us and our relationships going forward. And so things will come up in you. How do you know if it's right for me, Jamie? Well, what do I know? Well, you listen, you're aligned. You align first. And that's your guidance. That's your guidance system. So if something negative comes up in you, it's because it doesn't resonate with you. All right? And so maybe you need to seek understanding. Maybe you need to clear a limiting belief. Maybe you need to get over yourself or get out of your way or whatever it is because it's not aligned with your authentic self. You following me here? I know it's kind of, I don't know, it's once you practice it, you see it, okay? And then, but sometimes with those triggers, you don't, in the moment when you're being reactive, you may not see it. And so you have to let the dust settle and then go back around and be like, okay, that was some behavior that really wasn't, ask yourself, am I part of the problem or am I part of the solution? We all need to go over into the solution category. And we do that by trying to live aligned and peaceful. Peaceful comes with being aligned, living true to ourselves, being less judgmental on everyone, including yourself. Let's just be kinder. Let's be a kinder, gentler world. We all make mistakes. We are all here to grow, and we're all here to learn, and we're all the same. Nobody's better than anybody else. Somebody may have more or seem to have it all together, but just, be mindful that you don't know. You don't know the whole story. And if we're out there comparing ourselves to the highlight reel of somebody else's life and we're feeling sorry for ourselves, well, you're being part of the problem, okay? So let's stop doing these things to ourselves. There's just so much out there in the world that's coming in at us at all times. We need to calm down. We need to have time where we just sit quietly and breathe. That's really the only thing that you need to do. And you need to take time to do that on occasion, to just breathe. Don't think. If something comes into your mind, just be like, okay, well, that must be something important to me, but I'm going to deal with that later. Okay? So just continuously remind yourself and just go back to your center, pull all your spirit in, live in the now, be in the present moment, and just sit quietly and breathe. And that is how you align to your inner guidance system. And we need to be doing this daily, maybe a few times a day. I mean, I'm not one of those people who can sit down, and I don't even like to use the word meditate. You can call it whatever you want. I don't even call it anything. Prayer, I just do it. And I'll do it anytime I get an opportunity. If I notice I'm going off the rails, I can pull myself right in, just take some deep breaths, just do nothing but breathe for a moment, collect myself. You know, if half of my spirit is over there, half of, I've got it all get away, I'm not living in the now, okay? If I'm thinking about going to the grocery later, if I'm thinking about some client that I have to respond to, those things are important, and there's a time and a place for them. But as much as possible, bring yourself into alignment and pull your spirit in and be in the present moment, be in the now, because that is your point of power. And, I used to hate the word empowerment too, but I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was a word that fit for me, because it was like, oh, empowered. That sounds nice, but I'm not worthy of that. I don't want to say a cuss word, but I'm thinking one. I mean, what in the world is that? Hello? All that word means is being in your power. And we all have personal power, okay? No matter your life circumstances, you have personal power. And it all comes from the choices that you make and being aware that you have choices. Your choices may suck right now. I get it. Been there. But you have choices. You do what's best. You make the right choice at that time, and you move on. And we learn from these things, and we don't carry them around forever and beat ourselves up, okay? We're growing. We're learning. This is a journey, and we just have to give ourselves some grace. We have to give other people some grace by being less judgmental, okay? So that's my tip for today. If that's something that you can work on, that would be fantastic. If it does not resonate with you, maybe we've planted a seed for maybe later on. Maybe someday it'll just pop into your head. It's like, oh, that person is making a poor choice. Oh, wait. Who am I to judge if it's a poor choice or not? I mean, some things are blatant, but, you don't know their experience. You don't know. So there comes the compassion. So if we could all do this work and work on staying aligned and just striving to live aligned and to focus on our inner guidance system and not be reactive and not be judgmental, it's going to happen. We're humans, but we need to be aware of how much we're doing this so that we can start to turn the boat around, okay? So that's what I have to say today. I hope that you received some message, some inspiration from this, and we'll keep coming back. We'll keep going at it and walking each other home, and we'll get there. Some days are better than others, and we just have to not take everything so freaking serious sometimes. We need to all just kind of lighten up and realize that most of our problems are created in our brain, and whether you believe it or not, you have control over your thoughts and over your brain. It's not this machine that runs on its own. Some parts of you do. Yes, That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the monkey mind that we let go run rampant about, oh, that person probably thinks I'm doing something wrong, or yeah, what, fill in the blank. People do it. Not all people, most people, okay? And so we just need to be like more compassionate and less judgmental on others and ourselves. Know you have choices. Know that you're in control of your mind. And even if you've got a limiting belief, even if you have past trauma, there are ways that you can heal that part of you, release that part of you, whatever it needs, or embrace that part of you and just even accepting it. That's the first step. You know, you've got awareness and acceptance. We can do all these things. We can do these things. It just takes practice, and it takes you knowing that you can do it. Okay? That's what we do here at the center all day. Every day is we help people to discover that within themselves they have the ability to make positive changes and to live aligned and to have peace and to not be reactive and to be able to flow through life no matter what comes at you. And, you know, that's what we do. We're here for you. Reach out to us. Let us know if you need anything. And we'll be here. And we'll do the best we can. All right. Well, I hope that you have a blessed day. And thank you for watching. And I will talk to you again real soon. Okay. Thanks. Bye.